Hello, this is Ongley the Easy Way, and my name is Richard Watson. Today, I'd like to talk about a book. Quite a strange name for the book, but quite a simple book in many ways. The book is called Eat That Frog, and the writer is Brian Tracy. Now, it's a strange name, but once you understand the idea, it'll make sense to you. Eat That Frog is a practical and concise guide to overcoming procrastination and improving your productivity. Now, the central metaphor of the book is to eat that frog, meaning to tackle or to attack the most challenging and the most important task first, and especially first thing in the morning. That's your frog, the thing you're supposed to do, and especially the thing you don't want to do. This way, the rest of your day will seem easier by comparison, and the book outlines 21 principles that help readers to identify their frogs, to prioritize tasks, and to manage their time more effectively. The emphasis is on planning, setting clear goals, and breaking down large tasks into smaller, manageable steps. It encourages readers to take immediate action on their most crucial tasks to boost productivity and reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed. Overwhelmed is when you have so much that you get lost and you lose control. It promotes a focused and efficient approach to work, helping people to achieve more and experience less stress. Okay, let's look at some of the key concepts. You'll know some of these in French, but I'll say them for you in English anyway. So the first one is the frog. The most difficult, important, and challenging task you have on your to-do list. It's the task that you are most likely to procrastinate on. Right? Procrastinate is when you don't want to do it and you keep pushing it further and further into the future. Often we talk about kicking a can into the future. Procrastination is when you delay or postpone important tasks, which can lead to stress and reduced productivity. Time management is about organizing and using your time efficiently to maximize output. Prioritization. Look how I say that. Prioritization. Always a strong syllable just before the shun. So prioritization, this process of identifying and focusing on the most important tasks. The 20-80 or the 80-20 rule, called the Pareto principle, the principle that 80% of your results come from 20% of your activities. Focus on the most impactful tasks. So why is this interesting, this book? Well, I think the metaphor is good. Eat That Frog is very memorable. It's catchy. It's an effective way to frame productivity and procrastination. It's simple and practical. The book is very concise. It's a small book, easy to understand, and filled with actionable advice. It focuses on action. It stresses the importance of taking immediate action and overcoming the tendency to delay. We all end up trying to push things into the future when we could just do them. It avoids theoretical language. It's very simple language. It's very direct and straightforward techniques. I'm going to give you a couple of quotes. First one, your frog is your biggest, most important task, the one you're most likely to procrastinate on if you don't do something about it. That's like I said a bit before. Next one, if you have to eat two frogs, eat the ugliest one first. Ugliest means the least beautiful. I'll say it again. If you have to eat two frogs, eat the ugliest one first. That basically means if you have several things you need to do, do the worst one first. Do the one that you really don't want to do first. It says apply the 80-20 rule to everything. I know this is quite a popular concept right now. When this book came out, it was a little bit different, I think. Think on paper. Think on paper, which means write down your thoughts, your goals, and your plans. Don't rely on only doing your planning in your head because we forget. Don't be afraid to say no to non-essential tasks, right? It's okay to refuse things which aren't essential. The key to success is to focus on the few important tasks, not the many trivial ones, right? It's about prioritization. Develop a sense of urgency, which basically means cultivate a mindset that encourages you to take immediate action on your most important tasks. Don't wait. Practice the law of forced efficiency. I'll say that again. Practice the law of forced efficiency. There is never enough time to do everything, but there's always enough time to do the most important thing. Often we get frightened by things that we put off for too long, that we procrastinate on. Don't try to do everything at once, but focus on the task in front of you. In the modern world, we often talk about multitasking, but a lot of psychologists say that that doesn't really exist for humans. And when you multitask, you're actually switching your attention backwards and forwards between two different tasks. And that every time you switch, you lose some time. You waste that time. And they suggest that maybe multitasking is not such a good thing after all. Break large, complex tasks down into smaller, more manageable steps. Some people like this approach and some people tend not to. I like it. No matter how bad something seems, if you break it into small enough steps, you can take that first step. Discipline is the key to achieving long-term success. It's the ability to take action regardless of how you feel. If you want to be successful, you need to be willing to do what the unsuccessful are not willing to do. That's a funny one for French, but let's do it again. If you want to be successful, you must be willing, that means you must be ready, to do what the unsuccessful are not willing to do. You have to be able to do things that other people don't want to do. Continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. Don't wait to make a start. Continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. Don't wait to make a start. What kind of person likes these books? Well, I think it's people who procrastinate all the time. We're always thinking of ways to get rid of our bad habits. Some people never think about it because they just don't have bad habits. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.